Hello, I'm Daniel, and this is Down to the Wire. Today, I will reveal my NFL 2020 mock draft. Well, it starts off with the number one pick, and it belongs to the Bengals. So it's pretty obvious they need Joe Burrow, and well, Joe Burrow was the best player in college football, and he deserves to be number one, and they need a quarterback bad. So that wraps it up for number one. And for the second pick, it belongs to the Washington Redskins, and it's pretty obvious for them too. Chase Young, probably the best player in the draft, but the Bengals really needed a quarterback, and they didn't really need Chase Young. But the Redskins, to complete their defense, they really need Chase Young, and Chase Young was one of the most dominant players we've ever seen, and I think he'll be a great player in the NFL. 3, the Detroit Lions. I have them selecting Jeff Okudah from the University of Ohio State. He was the most dominant defensive back in the nation, and the Lions need a corner to go along with newly free agent signee Desmond Trufant, and they need some more youth on the defensive side. And their defense last year was one of the worst, and they need some more defensive players. So I think that would really help them. With the fourth pick, it belongs to the New York Giants, and they got Daniel Jones last year, and their offensive line was horrendous, and they really need another tackle or a guard. But there's not that many good guards this year, so they have to go with the best tackle on the board, and I think that's Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. He's a great tackle, one of the best last year in the NCAA, and I think he would really help them and help Daniel Jones' development skyrocket like that, and they just really need some offensive line help. 5, the Miami Dolphins, they really need a quarterback. They need a big upgrade over Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was not that great last year. They only had 5 wins, and that's not acceptable. So, Tua, many people compare him to Drew Brees. I think he'll be a great quarterback in the NFL. Many people are concerned about his injuries, but I don't think that'll be a big deal. I think Tua will be a great player in the NFL. For number 6, the pick belongs to the Chargers, and right now I know they have Tyrod Taylor, but he's kind of not the best quarterback, so I think they should get Justin Herbert from Oregon. He's got a big arm, and I think he'd really help their team. For number 7, the pick belongs to the Carolina Panthers, and a lot of their defensive players retired, and they've left and now their team is depleted besides Christian McCaffrey, so I think they should go with linebacker from Clemson, Isaiah Simmons. He can play safety, linebacker, and he can rush the passer very well, so I think that would be a great pick for them. The number 8 pick belongs to the Arizona Cardinals, and they really need some help on the offensive line to really solidify their whole offense, because they just got DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver, and they have a great young quarterback in Kyler Murray, so they really need to help him. And if they get another offensive lineman, watch out for them. They might be in the playoffs next year. With the 9th pick, it belongs to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they really need some help on the defensive side, especially the defensive line, after they lost Calais Campbell. So I think they should go with Derek Brown from the University of Auburn. He's a very good pass rusher, and he can stop the run. He had like 4 sacks last year, so that would really help them. With the 10th pick, the Cleveland Browns, I have them selecting Andrew Thomas from the University of Georgia. You saw them last year even though they had a lot of weapons at wide receiver, they had a terrible offensive line, so they were 6-10, so they were not that good. But they already signed Jack Conklin to a big contract from the Titans, and now if you get Andrew Thomas, they have a pretty good offensive line, and once they have a good offensive line with all those weapons, they'll be a very dangerous team. Number 11 is the New York Jets, and they need a wide receiver bad. I know they also need offensive line, because last year Sam Darnold got whipped, but they really need wide receiver right now. The only wide receiver that's actually proven himself on their team is Jamison Crowder, but they need CeeDee Lamb, and he was one of the best wide receivers in college football last season, so I think that'd help them a lot. 12th pick belongs to the Las Vegas Raiders, and obviously they need another wide receiver, so I think they should go with Jerry Jeudy from the University of Alabama. He's one of the top wide receivers last year, and he's a great route runner, so I think that would really help the Raiders. Number 13, the pick belongs to the 49ers, and obviously last year they didn't have that, besides Emmanuel Sanders and Deebo Samuel, and now Emmanuel Sanders is gone. He went to the Saints, and now they needed another wide receiver. I think Henry Ruggs from Alabama, really fast wide receiver. He can catch the ball downfield, and he's a great route runner. Number 14, the pick belongs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and obviously they got Tom Brady, and they just brought in Rob Gronkowski. They have two Pro Bowl wide receivers, and they really need to add on to their offensive line to help Tom Brady. So I'm going to go with Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle from Louisville. At number 15, the Denver Broncos. Obviously, they had to have Courtland Sutton. He's a young wide receiver that's pretty good, but I think they need to get another one to help Drew Lock in that young offense. So I think they should go with Justin Jefferson from LSU. I think that would really help them and maybe even give them a playoff push. 16, the Atlanta Falcons. I have them getting K'Lavon Chaisson, defensive end at LSU. He turned it on, especially late in the playoffs against Clemson and before that Oklahoma. He had a couple sacks, and I think he'll be a good NFL pass rusher. And the Falcons need a lot of help. Pick 17, the Dallas Cowboys have them getting C.J. Henderson, cornerback from the University of Florida. Obviously, they lost their best corner, Byron Jones, to the Miami Dolphins, and now they need to replenish their secondary. So I think C.J. Henderson will really help them. 18, the Miami Dolphins. I have them selecting Austin Jackson, offensive tackle from the University of Southern Cal, USC, and he's a very good offensive tackle. Many people have him at the end of their big boards, but I have him at 18 to the Dolphins because I think he's a pretty good offensive tackle, and they need more help on the offensive line. At pick 19, I have the Las Vegas Raiders getting A.J. Terrell, cornerback Clemson. He had a very good season up until the championship when he got burned by Jamar Chase, but besides that, I think he'll be a good corner in the NFL. To round up our top 20, at number 20, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select A.J. Epineza from defensive end from Iowa. I think he had like double-digit sacks last year. He had a bad 40, but I think he'll be good for the Jaguars. And other picks of interest, I have at 22, the Vikings getting Jalen Johnson, cornerback Utah. And then at 25, I have the Vikings getting T. Higgins, wide receiver Clemson. Obviously, they lost Stephon Diggs, so that's a good replacement right there. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Down to the Wire for our NFL Top 20 mock draft, and I hope to see you this time tomorrow. Thank you.